Welcome to Men Are Forged Podcast. I'm your host, Cartwright Morris. For more content, also coaching and courses, go to menareforged.com. Thank you for listening. Please rate and review. Help me out tremendously. And if you want a little more than just what the podcast can offer in some of these interviews and insights that I have, go check out menareforged.com/coaching. And love to set up a time with you to see if I can help you as you're growing, building, advancing in your life and career. Therefore, go to menareforged.com/coaching or go to calvertassociates.com and schedule a session today. All right, today is a big day. It's a milestone. One wasn't sure if I'd get to, but today is episode 50. It's not quite 100. It's not the big 100, but 50 I'm pretty excited about. So I decided to do something a little different, a little unique for y'all. It's really just kind of a simple thing. Speaking of, how do you simplify your life right now? And it may sound counterintuitive. It may sound a little strange, but really two things. The first thing is stop doing what you've always done. Too many of us are in that just grinding away, same approach, continue to see the world we've always seen it, do the things we've always done, and are expecting success, fulfillment, excitement, and it's just not reality. Because really, what you have always done in your life, the things that you have continually done over and over again, are only leading to more stress, more anxiety, and a less simplified life. You are building an existence that has the fruit of anxiousness, boredom, disappointment. So stop doing what you've always done. Do something different. And that's number 2. Is to start thinking and doing things a little different. It doesn't have to be a drastic change. It doesn't have to be an overwhelming thing. Just start thinking a little different. What do I mean by that? This is something, really, if you've been in a relationship, whether it's your spouse, your boss, a leader, whatever space you're in, and you've allowed that person to walk all over you, or you've allowed that person to devalue you, communicate in a way that is abusive, maybe not even abusive, just controlling, manipulative maybe. It's time for you to put up a boundary. Think a little differently. For the benefit, if that person is going to continue to be in your life, then they got to treat you different. They've got to communicate in a way that's valuable. That's not going to lead to a positive initial success. That is going to actually suck a little bit. That person probably won't receive it that well. But guess what? It's going to communicate to you a lot that you actually stand up for yourself, that you actually value yourself. Because this is what we're saying when we stop thinking the way we've always thought and we actually start living and doing and thinking in a way that is different than we've always done. We're saying I value myself, I value my life in a meaningful way, and I want to do things in a meaningful way. That is how you simplify your life. We think by desiring and moving towards a greater purpose, having convictions will complicate our life, but it actually simplifies it. Yeah, there'll be confrontation. Yeah, there'll be boundaries there. Yeah, there'll be no's. But what it is you're just communicating in a way that shows strength. It's not abusive. You're not angry. You're not having conflict just to be be confrontational, you're showing the value of yourself. So, I mean, when we are insecure, when we all only depend on our old ways of thinking, we overcomplicate our life because we're always moving around other people. We're always creating activity to avoid the truth of what's going on. If you want to simplify your life and go after a life that is simpler, then narrow your focus. I think that's pretty straightforward, but somehow we miss that. I know I have. It took me at 26 to quit my job, leave my normal, a very drastic move. Some people call it, even to a degree, it's like it's part of the hero's journey. You know, you leave the safety of the home to come back stronger. You leave the safety of what is the known to go to the unknown. I think we all need to do that to some degree in your life. No, I'm saying quit your job. No, some of you need to. There's no doubt in my mind that some of you need to. That really your job is purely based on your security, and you are just going along to get along because you're hoping one day something is going to change from your miserable existence. But the truth is that you need to adjust. You need to change the way you think towards something. And how do you do that? Yeah. Well, think about right now, all right, what's the issue? What's the problem? What is something that I continually to move around but yet continually keeps smacking me in the face? What am I continually avoiding? That's a good question. So that's the thing you need to address. That's the thing you need to confront. That's the thing you need to stop doing, and you need to start thinking of it in a different way. You need it. Sometimes that helps getting an outside perspective. Sometimes that means I just got to start approaching something in a different way with a different thought. Because the way you've been thinking, it's like I said, its fruit is anxiety, stress, frustration, boredom, disappointment. Stop doing what you've always done. The simpler life is someone who has a very pure, engaged focus. And you begin to attract the things that actually back that up. The resources, the people that add to that bring growth to that. But when we live this broad, going through the motions, I'll just do what everyone else is doing, I'll do what I've always done, then that's what you're always going to get. You're going to attract those things. Now, this message isn't for everybody, but here we are. This is it. So I want you to write something down. I want you to think about it. What is the thing I continually avoid? What is the thing that continually is being brought up in my life? At 26, that's what happened to me. I was sitting there thinking I just needed a job in this arena and I would feel valuable, I would feel fulfillment, I would have some level of success where people would start respecting me. The truth is, I didn't respect myself. I actually didn't really want to be in that job, in that industry. It was not fitting to my personality. It wasn't fitting to my ambitions in life. I needed adjustment. I needed to simplify my focus. Let me make the main thing, and then I'll go from there and start figuring out from there. For me, that was my relationship with God. I didn't really have one. I had one on the surface to everyone else, but really, I didn't. It was very going through the motions, like I said, if anyone's like that. And I had to go find him. I got to find what that looked like, what that meant. And thankfully, he showed up in a big way. But the little things started adding up from there. I started finding desires I didn't know I had. Business, relationships, people that were attracted to that part of me. I found a community of people that with like-mindedness who could speak into that, could give me more direction in those areas. It led to me in getting into coaching. This is why I coach people. Okay? When I coach people, a lot of ways I'm serving the former me. And the former me was bored with his life, though he had all the securities in the world, but wanted something different. Wanted to feel alive, wanted to feel excited, wanted to feel jacked about what was coming and what he was doing. So that's a lot what I do with my coaching, is I walk you through different mindsets to change, to grow, help you grow, to simplify your life, and to think and not worry what everybody else is thinking. That was probably the worst thing that happened to me, and it's continually a fight today that I am worried what other people think of me. When you worry about that, you overcomplicate your life, because you're constantly moving around that thought, because there's always new people, there's always people around you that are questioning, probing, or just looking at you a different way, and you're afraid of what they're thinking. So, how do we adjust that? How do we change that? Well, it starts with just that. Stop doing what you've been doing. Stop thinking the way you've been thinking. And just change. Find that thing that you continually avoid. Find that thing that excites you, but you're afraid to pick it up. I think it's time we stop making excuses for ourselves in the name of money, reputation, saving face, thinking there's only one lane of success to the things we want in life, when really there are multiple. If you're a Christian like me, we have abused the word God's will. Well, I just want to live in God's will, so let me just do what man does. That's the logic we have. That's the logic of Christians, unfortunately, is to live in God's will, I have to do what everybody else is doing. I've got to live by man's rules, man's thoughts, man's ideas, instead of engaging, appreciating, following the intuition that he's given me. There's something about a man that when he decides that I'm going to make my relationship with God just me and him, and then I'll go from there. And I will use the wisdom out of my personal relationship with God to create the life that he has called me to be. And some of y'all, that may sound selfish, but it's not. It actually glorifies the Creator. It brings in things that you have to make you fully alive, so that when you are strong, then you can give strength. But when you're living insecure about who you are, you will do things only to get strength. Therefore, you are very selfish when you do that. But when you are living your life at a relationship with God, you have strength to give because you are filled up with strength. All right, I think I've had enough rants today. Check out mentorforge.com. Email me, cartwright@mentorforge.com, if you have any thoughts or questions. You can tell I'm pretty jacked about this. So I hope you keep listening. I've got more interviews heading down the chute. Some ones I'm really excited about. But you guys stay tuned. So check me out. I'll catch you on the flip side.